Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Shit That Goes On in Our Heads, the podcast where we normalize conversations around mental health.
That's right. I'm Dirty Skittles, and alongside my amazing co-host, Rex, we are here to share stories and tips from our incredible guests.
Each episode, we deep dive into struggles and triumphs of mental health, offering practical advice and heartfelt support.
Because no one should feel alone in their journey. Join us as we break the stigma and build a community of understanding and compassion.
Tune in and let's start talking about the shit that goes on in our heads. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Shit That Goes On in Our Heads. Today, we have an amazing lady by the name of Alex. Alex, welcome. So excited to have you here.
Such an honor to be here.
Oh, the honor is all ours. Trust.
We are so not professional, but it's all good.
No.
Awesome.
So am I. I mean, yeah, it's just like, I think this is the best thing when you just like speak about what's really on your mind, rather than just like, it doesn't need to be professional as long as it's real. I think our goal has always been to keep it very organic, like a conversation with friends, and wherever it goes, it goes. Some people like it, some people don't. It's fine. We're here in it for ourselves, selfishly. Absolutely. That's
so.
Why I've always been, because like, maybe when I was younger, I was always like concerned, like, oh, what they're going to think or what they're going to say, whatever, as time passes, and I get to, what about swear?
You can swear. We swear all the time.
That's what you want.
Literally. We swear all the time.
Because sometimes, it just comes up. Like, and I don't want to be like, watching what I say.
You're totally fine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Just get it out.
See, she says shit, I say fuck. It's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so what I was saying. And then obviously as time passes, and then you gain a little bit of more experience and, and life hits you, then, you slowly like learn not to give a fuck. And I think when I finally stop giving a fuck about what people say and what people think, that's when you like feel like you're unstoppable, and it's the best for your mindset as well, because then you can just do what you need to do. There is going to be people who are going to appreciate it a lot, but there's going to be people who hate on you, and that's fine. Let them hate. Give them the reasons to hate,
Right. Do you think when you finally stop giving a fuck, it's when you put yourself first?
Yes. Absolutely. Because it's been the times when, I used to do everything for everyone. So first it was like my parents, my parents, there was 3 of us, me, I'm the eldest, then my sister and my brother. And my parents were really like religious and kind of strict on, I was not allowed to have a boyfriend or nothing like that because, you need to go college first, get your education, whatever. And I was just living like in a cage and always under their influence. And I was scared, to say something or do what I really wanted to do because, that was them. I needed to please them. So there was the parents. And obviously, because I was not really allowed to have a boyfriend. And then I wanted one because everyone has one, and you know how it is, like you 18, everybody's got a boyfriend. And I'm like, okay, so I met someone. And then, I'm like, I can't tell my parents because they're going to be like very angry with me. So he goes like, well, let's do it their way. I'm going to go to them. We're going to tell them that we're serious and whatever. I was scared. But he went to my parents and he kind of said, this is serious. I want to marry her, like, so all religious. So that was for them. Okay, if it's going to be properly, then we can, agree to that. So I was kind of relieved. But then again, I wasn't sure if he's the one, but because, I was relieved. I got married when I was 20, which is very young, and that was everything because I was trying to please other people. First, my parents, and then obviously it was him. We got married, and we moved together. And then I started to realize like we so apart, like we haven't got much in common. We don't like suit as a couple, and it was coming on slowly. And I never had the chance to proper like know who he is, and then obviously I got pregnant after, and I had my first child when I was 21. It was all
wow.
Yes, I know. My daughter is 21 now. And if I think about her having a child,
man. Married and having a child.
Exactly. Oh, just having a child. And then obviously it was other problems coming out. He had a very bad drinking problem, and it was just going out of control every single day. Like literally, I just couldn't deal with it anymore, and he wouldn't admit he's got a problem. And then it was just getting worse and worse. And I was like, okay, well, I need to do something. And then somehow, I don't know how, because we were on the edge, I got pregnant again. And then...
Yeah.
What? So he was 9 months or 10 months, my son, once I got pregnant again. And I couldn't really do much about it because, what can I do? You just have to have it. My mom is like, oh, everything is going to be okay. And I'm like, well, mom, it's not going to be okay because I always listen to you guys and it's never been okay.
You're like, look at me now. Look at me now, mom.
So it was just, I had to have her. When she was born, I was like, okay, she's all right, She knows as well because she always like asked me about those stories. Mom, tell us. I was like, I told you this 1,000,000 times. Like, why do you want to hear it again? But yeah. So when she was like maybe 9 or 10 months, I decided to leave because I'm like, I can't do this no more. I try to help him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to admit he's got a problem. I can't be bringing up those children in this atmosphere. It's just not looking good, So I took the kids and I moved to England because that was from Poland, right? So
wow.
She was 9 months. He was like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Yeah, no, over 2 then. Mm-hmm. And then this big journey from Poland to England. Wow. Luckily, my sister was already here. And then, so it was easier to obviously like kind of settle. It wasn't very easy because obviously I had to find a job and, we had to find shifts like morning and then my sister afternoon, whatever. But we managed somehow. We managed, He tried to come to UK, but then it didn't last long because he found himself friends and never really seen kids and then got drinking again. And it's not even worth talking about it.
Yeah. You don't have to.
No.
As it's just whatever. So, but then, so I stayed with kids and then I just settled. He had to go back to Poland because he got himself in a trouble and then we haven't seen him since. Huh. Yeah, I think the alcohol kind of took over.
Yeah.
So whatever. So I had to do what I had to do.
Right.
And then it was obviously I met someone and, it was going on very quickly. And then here in England. And that's when I got pregnant again with my youngest one. Mm. Relationship was very toxic, but I was trying to do everything like for him. So first for him, then for the husband. Then obviously I've got kids. Then everything for them. Never thought about myself. Then again for the second partner, who was like abusive and control freak, and so it was just a nightmare. And eventually, when my youngest one was 2, and I finished that's when I said, I need to do something, because always for people, and it's been always worrying about what people will say or their opinion and everything. And since then, I started to learn how to actually think about myself first. Because if I think about myself and look after myself first, that's going to be beneficial for those who I love and who are around me, like my kids, for example. If I'm not going to make sure that I'm good first, how they can possibly, see and have a good influence on them. So, and that's when it was.
Yeah.
I was all by myself with all 3 of them, started to finally working on myself. And that was a great discovery, actually.
Why do you think you couldn't do it before?
But you see, that's what it is, because of this influence on people. You that subconsciously want to make sure that, they approve, with whatever decisions you're making. And then I realized after, like, they don't need to approve anything. And that's what it was. Because when obviously I said to my mom, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. At the end, she was like, okay, you're a grown woman now, whatever. And I was so scared at the beginning. And then I thought to myself, like, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah.
But then better later than ever, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, always. It's always better to do it than to never do it, right? Especially if it's so beneficial. How did it feel after you had that conversation with your mom?
Relieved, because obviously, first of all, I was really scared what she's going to say. And she was my rock. I cared more about what she will think than anyone else. So that's why probably it was a little bit of like, a little bit of fear, like, what is going to happen? She took it, amazingly. Like, you know what, I'm here for you. She loves kids. She loves the youngest one. She's always supportive now, and amazing. With Dad, it was just a little bit different because, with Dad, he's still around, he's still there, but he was never really supportive before. Even, if it comes to like provide for the family, so Mom had a hard time with him, yet she still stayed with him. And now she just says like, whoa, it's too late now. And then she just comes and see me, or she just comes and see my sister, or like, just to not be around. She's like, I don't care. Leave him. But I understand, because I saw what she's been going through. And I'm like, Mom, if you need to go. Now she's, for example, went to the seaside just by herself for a week, just to, for stress relief. And I was like, I'm supporting this 100%. Yes.
I love it. Good for her. She knows what she wants. She's going to do it.
That's it.
Mom.
And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because you basically did the same thing, right? You walked away from two situations and said, you know what? I need to fucking take care of me.
Yeah.
I need to find my happiness. I don't give a shit what other people say, because it really doesn't fucking apply to them, right? You have your own life. Exactly. And I love that about you. I love that you took the bull by the horns and just said, you know what? We're going to fix the situation.
Yeah.
And you feel better for it, right? Because now you're not people pleasing. You don't care what, X, Y, and Z say. You're doing it for you. And that's where the I don't give a fuck comes from. Because but you found that before I found that, right? So I didn't get there until I turned 60. And dirty and
you see, as we say, better later than never.
Than never. Right.
Always good. Even now, I've got clients which are like over 60 and they want to make a change now. And I'm like, you know what? This is fucking beautiful, because some of the young girls, they still, don't understand that, they've got the opportunity when they're young. And they still refuse to do that, So for someone who's older and they still want to make a positive change, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like poetic, because I would rather, even if I had 2 days left to live, I would rather make that move now and experience it for 2 days than to never experience it ever, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm curious, when you started making decisions for you and putting you first, did you learn anything about yourself that you never knew?
I did. So how it all started first, it was, I wanted to make a change, because obviously I was all by myself with the kids and I wanted to make a change, but I didn't take action towards it. Yeah. So I still had like friends, but they were not really friends, because they were just only good friends when there was a drink on the table. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what are we doing? We're drinking, So the friends. When there was, so I was like, we're drinking, friends, let's go. Mm-hmm. So I got myself, in a few months, like, drink here, drink there, drink whatever. And then, it got to the stage when I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do you really want to have this life? where all you got to do with your friends is just getting pissed.
Yeah.
And then I thought, if I'm not going to make a change now, then when?
Right.
So that's when I signed up to the gym. And I said, I need to maybe change the way I look first and maybe make myself feel better, because it's not going the right direction. And so I did that. I didn't know I was doing it first. I wanted to believe that I'm doing something, but nothing was changing till I signed up with a coach, and he was very strict. And he told me the things which I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do that because I've never done this before. But because nothing else changed before, I'm like, well, I might as well just do it. That's my only choice now, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it actually started to work. And because I started to work on myself, you develop that resilience, and discipline, because you want to get well with your obviously physical body and physical appearance. And without even realizing that this is going to happen, you become stronger emotionally and mentally, and then I was like, if I can push myself to do this and this and this, then it was like I was coming home and it was easier for me to make other decisions. And it wasn't easy at first because, this bill needs to be paid. I needed to go to work and everything. And before it was just so overwhelming. And I was like feeling sorry for myself because I've got 3 kids. How the fuck am I going to do this? But because I started this journey, it was like easy to navigate, it become that I didn't even realize that this change can happen. And the more I did it, the more of this resilience and discipline and, the will to like push through, I've developed. And it's crazy to think, because this is what I'm trying to teach my ladies now. Some of them, they obviously believe, some of them not so much, but
yeah.
Everyone needs to like grow up to this change eventually. And, it's different for everyone. And I'm glad it happened then. And then year by year, and the kids could see the change as well. There was no more drinking, absolutely no more drinking. Mom is getting this. Everybody is just saying, like, how did you turn your life around 360 degrees? How did you do that? I was like, first of all, it was just the training, and I didn't care if I have someone there or a man. Everyone chasing a man, want to be in a relationship and everything. I didn't fucking care. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've developed this new mindset and the way I deal with things. I'm like, if I have one, I do. If I don't, then I don't. I don't care.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
That's what it was. And I was by myself for a very long time. And then I even had clients and she's like signing up to Tinder or this. And they tell me, all the time, like every day, like, oh, I was on this day, then I was on this day. I'm like, why the fuck are you even searching? It's like, if there is a right one, he will come eventually, because that's what happens. They come unexpected. Right. And if you're chasing all your life, then that's when it's not gonna come because you're putting too much focus on it. Let go, don't give a fuck, and it will come.
that is the lesson.
I love this, Alex. You're my spirit animal. I love you. Yeah, like I said, don't wait until you're 60 to not give a fuck. Exactly. But I will tell you, the minute I stop giving a fuck about a whole lot of things. It's absolutely free. Yeah. Absolutely free. Like, you know what? I put up some boundaries. Yes, I've lost some friends because of it, but I'm fucking happy. And you know what? That's what matters. I'm happy. And the fact that my wife sees how happy I am, even she said, this is the happiest I've seen you in 20 years.
Thank you. See? Exactly that. Exactly.
See, Dirty Skittles, you need to start not giving a fuck.
Yeah. I'm making.
Let's start now.
Yeah. I do small steps, right? I think my problem with not giving a fuck is I need to do it consistently.
Yes.
So, and that's for everybody listening too, right? Like you do get to a point, and I think I've gotten there probably a year ago, where you actually longer than that. Who am I fucking kidding? Because you said something that reminded me of when that sort of changed. I was very guilty of diving 100% into other people, right? Like my relationships, I was 100% in. Oh, you like this? Me too. You want to do that? Me too. And like, I lost me, right?
Exactly.
And it took a really bad breakup and I told G-Rex this, to realize, oh, I don't know who I am anymore. Went to therapy, worked through that shit out. And then I remember getting to a point where I realized I'm happy with me, with my life, with the choices I've made for me. And if somebody comes in, great.
Yeah.
But this is me. I'm not going to be you, right? So that's when it started. But I think for listeners, knowing that it's consistency, because you have to choose you every day.
Every day.
And whether it's a small step, big step. Right.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
So it's the consistency.
Because, sometimes we forget and we act on emotions. Yeah. So we will be consistent with not giving a fuck. And that is based on emotions. Yeah. But then when we feel down, again, for any kind of, we become less consistent. Yeah.
Right.
This is what we need to try and do, to, regardless of if we're on a high or in a low, still be consistent, with that original not giving a fuck.
Right.
Because that really helps. And as you say, I've been through the breakup as well, and I needed to know who the fuck I am. And I needed time for this, to know who I am and what I really want from life. Not you, not mom, not my ex, not my other ex, none of them. And then it's like, you can't possibly, be in a good relationship, in a healthy relationship in the future, if you don't know who the fuck you are first.
Yeah, exactly.
Something I never knew before. That's why all those relationships failed.
Right.
It's only now. I've been on my own for a very, very long time, and I never searched. And I was focusing on my clients, on my job, traveled a lot and everything. And then this one coming through. We did here, words, I never even thought that something like that is going to happen to me again. Because I was good, and I finally knew who I was. And I was good on my own. And if I'm going to find someone, then obviously it's going to be the bonus. But if I don't, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and I don't know if you can relate to it, but when you find somebody, I remember realizing it's different because I want to share who I am with this person versus before it was, I want to be a part of what you have going on.
Yes.
So and then you realize,
be who you are. I want to do what you do.
Yeah.
And that's how yourself, and everything what is about me, it's just kind of fading away.
Right.
And that not happen, because we should be like a partnership.
Yeah.
This, you do that, I do this, you do that. We all understand each other, and and it's beautiful. Right. You just feel like, it's all for him.
Right.
It's that way for her, or no other way, So yeah. How do you feel it now?
Me?
You yeah. Are you still healing, or?
I think I'm still growing. I don't think I'm healing. I have a pretty good grasp of who I am. I smile as I'm thinking about this because I discover a little bit more about shit that I like.
Yes.
That I laugh at myself now because I'm just like, dude, I'm no longer worried what other people will think about this thing. I'm like, I love doing this so much. It's fucking hilarious. So I'm at that stage of like,
that's good.
This is where I'm at. Yeah. And I think my health journey continues, right? Like I realized after kind of working through some mental shit, because your mind and your body, it's weird how the two can work together or work against each other in some way. And if I'm in a good mental space, just like what you said, I'm ready to like tackle it. I'm consistent. My diet has been consistent for a while. Working out, that fluctuates, right? Because we have very bad days. And then I'm like, the last thing I want to do is to sweat. But I remember how good it feels when you're in there and you're working out and you're pushing through challenges that like something as simple as lifting like a heavy weight. When I remember when I started thinking, I can do that. I just don't want to. And then I went to try it. I'm like, oh shit, I really can. I'm struggling. And then you're consistent. And then you're like, oh, look at me. I can do it now. And realizing like, it's almost conditioning your mind to say, you can do this. And it just translates into other shit in your life.
That's exactly what it is. For me, it's so I started to do this because I wanted, to change how I look. Because I didn't like how I look, those roles, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was not even the case. Now it's my therapy.
Yeah.
It's my therapy, yeah? And nobody can tell me any difference. Whenever I've got a bad day and I don't want to go there and I don't want to work out and I don't want to do this, I know that if I do, it's going to change, my mindset and it's going to put in a different mood. Because what exercising releases this endorphins, and then you feel automatically better. So for that 1 hour when you go there, you forget about everything, what is currently happening. Yeah. And go and fucking smash this workout. Go and do it. Not only will make you feel better mentally, but obviously it's going to be beneficial for your brain.
Well, the side effect.
That's absolutely. Yeah. We could, what? It is like a side effect.
Yeah.
Because I do it for mental.
Right.
And I'm happy that, I can actually, after all these years, I never, I've also discovered that I actually, because not everyone's doing this because they like it or they love it.
Right.
Sometimes they just do it because they think they have to. With me, it developed to that love. And I really love that. And what it did to me, like mentally, so I wanted to share it with other ladies because I know how many ladies, they have struggled so much, with like yourself, finding who they are, or like, they're not happy with their body, or they're not happy with, surroundings, whatever. So I thought, if I could do that, those ladies can do too. I can show them, I can help them how to do this. And this is, and I never thought it's going to be, like something what I'm going to be doing for a living. I had a job. I used to sell mobile phones. Like, like in a mobile shop. What you guys call it, cell phone, right?
Right. Yeah.
In London, we call it mobile phone. So for 6 years, and I had to deal with dickhead customers.
Right.
The mobile phone. This is the best. You know what I mean? And then I was like, did I like it? No. I had to do what I had to do. And just only, after I was like, 35 maybe, I've then discovered, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be someone who helps people and show them that it can be done. And if I can just save one person, that's enough,
Yeah.
So that's what it does. And I think it saved my life. It saved my life, all this, training, it's, as I said, it's discipline. And I still have this, and I still do, it's still not always rainbow and sunshine.
Right.
I might go through this. My kids are grown-ups now, and they're really good, So my daughter, she just graduated from university, a couple of weeks ago. My eldest one, he never went to uni, but I never pushed him to do that because, like, if you don't want to do it, you just finish college, whatever. But he was very smart and he loved to write. He had crazy ideas, for the writing. So he wrote and he was very into this online thing and copywriting and everything. Now, 3-4 years down the line, he's 23 now, and he's got his own copywriting agency. And he's making crazy money, because he turned, his passion into the income. And I thought, you know what, I couldn't do that bad then. Because they were right,
Like somehow that shit worked out. I'm not just kidding.
All that shit I've been through, and being all by myself, and then ups and downs, like, it reflects in your kids. Like, some of the kids, might be shit, but they're not that bad.
Yeah.
She done all right. He's done all right. The youngest one, obviously, he is just only 16. He's doing well. I mean, he's not into, obviously, all this, like, boys hanging out or like more, what they call it, Gen Z?
Z, yeah. I know. I don't know, man. I don't understand it.
I know. it's just whatever, man.
Yeah.
So knowing that, obviously they know where I came from and, the roots, and they must have observed, some good stuff, that they reflect on them. So that's a kind of proud moment as well. So, and now I'm in a position, I'm still feeling okay.
Mm-hmm.
I found someone who really aligns with me, which I never thought would. They're grown-ups. So I say to them sometimes, are we going away? Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Yeah. It's mama's time.
Mom, none of your fucking business. You make sure the house is being looked after. Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're like, I'm a grown-ass adult. I will do what I see fit and I'll be back.
Yeah, that's
I have to go back to where you were saying about, the gym and just helping you mentally. So when I first, I'd started seeing a therapist the day after my mental breakdown, then I joined the gym. And the reason I went to the gym, because it was winter here and I needed to be able to get out of the house and just clear my mind. So I would go for an hour and I wouldn't think about anything else besides not falling off the treadmill and not dropping a weight on my foot. Like that was my way of clearing my head, right? And I went to the gym religiously for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I pulled back a little bit because I have really bad arthritis in my knees. But I started to find other things that would make me happy. So spending time in nature and things like that. But it was a way for me to just stop the shit that was going on in my head.
Yes.
Just feel better. But the other side of that is that laughing kind of started to do the same thing for me because it took away some of that cortisol and raised my endorphins, and it just made me feel better. So Dirty Skittles and I would talk to each other every morning before work. And it was sometimes it would be like an hour, right? Because it was a shitty job. But we would laugh and laugh and laugh. And it would just kind of set the trajectory for the day. So for me, the combination of the working out and the laughing and just sharing my journey helped me get to that point where I just did not give a fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for you.
It is my life and I'm doing this.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Right? So how do you help people not give a fuck today?
It's not always easy because, some of the ladies, they are going through those phases when they still need to learn. So obviously through the self-development, so first it always starts they're not happy with their body, or they're too heavy, or they want to lose some weight, or they just literally always out of breath, even when they go to a little walk, let's say 1-2 minutes, and they want to change something because obviously they don't live into the good quality of life. That's how it starts. It's always the physical thing, because I don't think anyone joins, this fitness journey realizes that it actually has a huge impact on your mental health as well. You learn that after. That's exactly what happened to me. I never knew. I just wanted to look different. I just wanted, that was my main concern. So that's how I do it. And I was first at the gym floor, literally face to face with clients. And I love that. I've done this for over 10 years, so I'm going to the gym for 6 a.m. And literally, sometimes I was leaving 6 p.m., with clients, 1 second, third, and everything, and I've been doing this for over 10 years and I really loved it. But then I got to the stage it's exhausting first, I've been there from 6 to thing, and now I'm slowly losing myself again, because I'm for 12 hours every single day. Sometimes those ladies, they just come for the session and they forget about everything till the next session,
Right.
So what I could do. So I wanted, to maybe make even more change. And that's why I started to obviously do online coaching, because with online coaching, I think there is more accountability around it, so you can be in a constant touch with the ladies, touch up if they need to. You can, provide them with a plan, check on them every day if needed, and then, when they've got someone at the back end, they're more likely to stick to the plan and they're more likely to see the results. whether if it's obviously the physical result or eventually, the ones which been with me for longer, they also learn like, what this is making me think differently as well. I'm so happy now. I'm like, making different decisions. So this is what I do, and it's not always easy. Of course, it's not easy, but who said it's going to be easy?
Yeah.
No, if it's not challenging, then that was the saying, which is always in my head. Like, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Right.
If you just always stay in the same position. So it's good to do challenging things.
Yeah.
For sure.
No matter how difficult it might seem, but at the end, those difficult things is always what's going to make it work.
Yeah.
I was watching this song today. Like, I don't know if you know this song by Justin Timberlake, Mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like also must be like 10 years old now. And I remember every single time I heard it, I cried like a bitch. It was making me so emotional, yeah. And then my boyfriend's like, why you like this song so much? And then I'm like, it's not even the song, but it's like making
the message.
The message behind it. It's like making you realize that we've got only one life, and it's only one life, and makes you appreciate life so much, because like it says in this song, eventually you're gonna get old, you're gonna lose people, and then you're dead. know, so that just makes you think like, appreciate what you have every single day.
Yeah.
And push through, because we've been given this life for a reason, not to waste it. If it's harder, then be harder, because sometimes it has to be harder for them to be better, and then better, and then better,
Yeah. That's how I think about it too. It's like, I started somewhere along the line to think about life. Well, first of all, it's beautiful, right? Like, just the concept, you're born, you live, you love, you're happy, whatever that journey looks like, and then you die, right? It sounds very like brutal, but you have a beginning and an end. And it's like a story. You have a beginning and an end.
There.
And if you are reading your own story, do you want to read fucking 40 chapters of like, not challenging yourself? Yeah. Like, fuck, that would be boring as shit, right?
Like, every single chapter and every single...
The same shit, every fucking...
Who wants to read that? No one wants.
Exactly. Like, if you yourself don't even want to read your own fucking book, like, dude, make a change. Right. Like, make a change.
Yeah.
You gotta...
For sure. You gotta try it. Like, even at 60, I'm 61 now. I forgot, I gained a year. I try and do things differently. I like trying to change it up. I hope my story's fun to read. But, I think about like our episode we did with Bookie, our friend Liz, who had terminal breast cancer. And she passed away about a month after we recorded. But the lessons that she taught us in that episode will stick with me forever. And you know what? I live for the moment, right? You just don't fucking know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
And making good choices. I mean, sometimes we make bad choices. Okay, I'm going to admit, I'm not going to go back and
do.
I'm not going to go back and relive my life, okay? Because I think all those lessons taught me something. Yeah. But I have a good life. I'm in a really good place, and I go through a lot of shit to get here and a lot of therapy. But I get to do something with my best friend that really was never on the wheel, never on the vision board. But I'm learning, right? I'm learning that like some of the stuff I'm doing is actually good for me, right? And I'm willing to try it, and if I fucking suck at it, I fucking suck. But you know what? It's my life.
And then the second time you do it, you're gonna be better. And then the third time you do it, you're gonna be even better. You know what I mean? And it's an NH.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it's like the podcast. The first year was a little rough, and now we're getting our groove. But listening to your story, Alex, it makes me thankful that you pushed through and that you helped yourself, and that that the art of not giving a fuck. Seriously, people learn to live that now and don't wait until you turn 60.
Exactly.
Right.
Or don't wait,
don't wait
for one marriage. And then the second, I'm like a failed relationship, or don't wait to that. If you just cannot give a fuck before and think about yourself, what's good for you first, you can prevent all those things. We didn't know, but that's good because at least we learn from this,
right?
So I think those experiences, they kind of like needed because they made us who we are right now,
right?
So, you might think, well, I wish I did it differently. But at the end of the day, they made us who we are now. And, much stronger, much wiser. And then basically don't give a fuck no more.
Yeah. And to our listeners, if you are hearing this episode right now, this is your sign to make a fucking change and stop giving a fuck.
Yes.
Your journey was your journey. Congrats. You've made it here now.
Right. You made it here and learn to love yourself because that art of not giving a fuck is the ultimate gift you can give to yourself.
That's it.
It is absolutely freeing.
Free.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you lose friends or family members out of it,
so what? That means they were not the true friends in the first place.
They were half a chapter.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. You moved on to the next chapter in your life and, make those good choices and be resilient. Like that art, the art of not giving a fuck makes you, I love that. The art of not giving a fuck. That's what I should name my book. The art of not giving a fuck.
The art of not giving a fuck.
There is one,
There probably is. But you know what? We took that and loved ourselves. That was that's our form of self-love. And setting up those boundaries. Boundaries are fucking, oh my God, they are brilliant. Brilliant. Do not wait until you're 60 to set them. Start setting them now. I'm just these are my life lessons.
Yes, exactly. So we can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
So if there is even to my ladies, if you're in your 40s or in your 50s, and you're stuck in unhappy marriage or something is not going your direction, it's not really where you want to be or what you want to do. Don't wait to do what you need to do for yourself. If you need to leave. If you need to do, something what people will not approve for you to feel better, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. I got some questions for you.
Okay.
First question.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest lesson that you have had to learn so far?
I think,
Is that a hard one?
So you put me on the spot. There was many. Let me put the light on. Yeah.
There you go.
No, you can't still see. The lamp is there. Dark. It's getting dark outside, so I can see that. I'm a little bit in the darkness, but that will do. Huh?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, you're fine.
The hardest lesson I've had to learn, I think, to realize that you don't need a partner or a significant other to actually make it in life. Sometimes this makes me just really sad. Sometimes, as I said, or some of my clients or some of my family or friends, they stay with someone because they rely on them that much. And they think, I can't do without him. I have to be with him because how is it going to look? Or how am I going to get on? Or I don't know how I'm going to do this, So that was the hardest decision for me to learn because I thought at some point, I've got little kids, I need a husband, I need someone there. You don't. As soon as you learn who you really are. And obviously it's a process. You're not going to know that right away, as we already spoke about. It's a little process and people are impatient and they don't have patience to go through that process. But once you're finally there and realize, what, you can do it on your own. You've got what it takes, to make it in life, whether you do it on your own or with a partner. And, if you're not happy, And if something is not going into the right direction and you feel like you can't breathe, then you gotta come out. And it might feel difficult at the time. And that was very difficult, decision for me to make or lesson for me to make, But now I'm thinking, that was the best decision I've ever made. That, as I said, just made me who I am right now. So
yeah. And I feel like that totally it's almost like a metaphor, right? Because when you're in the gym, and you're doing it for you, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're telling yourself, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and you're pushing through it. And then on the other hand, if you're doing something where you need somebody there to spot you or whatever, you also are picking that moment to be courageous to ask for help, right?
Yeah.
I just need you here in case I fall back.
Yes.
So it's all very metaphorical, right? Like
very.
Your mind and your body.
That's it. I would totally agree. Yeah.
Last question. Hopefully this one's not too.
No, this lighting is not very good. But doing the faces, right? On the podcast.
No. It's just audio.
It's just audio. But if you want the video, I can certainly send it to you.
If you want it forever.
Yeah.
If you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice, how old would you go back to? So how old are you when you're giving yourself advice, and what would you say?
Yeah, probably when I was 20. Yeah, when I was 20 and I had so much pressure on me from my parents, and them putting their beliefs and their rules on me. Mostly it was like the father, because my mom was like, she just wanted the peace, So she was like kind of under his influence, because like, you know what, just have him up, whatever,
Right.
So when I was 20, and I remember even when I was getting married and I was just only 20, in my head, I was going through like, am I really supposed to be here? Like, it doesn't feel like that, it doesn't feel like that. So even then, what I would say to myself then when I was 20, like, if you don't feel that this is right, and if it doesn't feel that it lands with you, don't do it. You don't need to worry about. And I was worrying because obviously all these visitors came, and there was like 60 people come to my wedding, and I'm having those thoughts, and I was like, I can't do anything now because they're all here. And which brings us back to what we spoke about at the beginning, So if I could give my advice, like if the young people now, they feel something that they being not forced, but like they do something under the pressure, but they don't feel within themselves that is something right for them, like, then don't. Just do what you feel like,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I would say that.
Yeah,
definitely. Sometimes I think about it and I say that to my kids as well, because sometimes, they might make some like little stupid mistakes, whatever. And I was like, listen, I'm trying to prevent you from making those mistakes I did, So like, I know obviously sometimes, people need to go through something themselves in order to learn, but sometimes it can be prevented, right? So I'm trying.
Yeah. Follow your intuition, because 99.999% of the time, your intuition is telling you the right thing.
Telling you the fucking truth. That's what it is. Yes. And that's what you have to do. Some people like don't want to, or like they refuse to believe that this is the truth. Like if your intuition telling you something, listen to it. Because my intuition like told me so many stuff before, and I never listened because again, I was worrying what the people will say, what the parents will say, or what the husband, kids, other partner, whatever, always for people. No.
Yeah.
This is finished.
Yay.
I love this. All right. So I have a question because I like stole this from Dirty Skittles.
Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
Fuck.
Nice. I love it.
You know what? It's crazy.
Bless her. Love you. I finally feel validated. I do. I feel validated.
Yeah.
It's just appropriate in so many different ways. Yeah.
No, that was just like a joke, I mean, because obviously we were talking about that.
Yeah.
In fact, whatever. My favorite word, I use a lot. Hard to say. What's your favorite one, Gretchen?
Love.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was fuck, T-Rex.
Yes.
Well, it is fuck love, but no, it is. It is. Okay. So love has like certain implications in my life and gives me certain feelings.
Yeah.
And then fuck also gives me certain feelings. And it's usually, it's hard to explain. Like I have to draw a line sometimes, like when I use a word.
Yeah.
But truly, my favorite word is love. And it means everything to me.
It does. Because, if you don't, you only realize that when you actually truly love someone. And I only realized that in the last 9 months. I don't think, I've ever been loved properly or I loved properly till I met Chris.
Yeah.
And now it's like that saying where it says like, okay, love can set you free. That's true. Because he's just like someone who I've always, not looked, but like wanted to be with, like that.
Yeah.
Like he completes me. He wants to support me. He's like, communicates with me. He doesn't, tell me what to do. He it's like partnership, which I never thought that something like that is possible because I've never had that before. So now when I do, I finally, see the sense in what you're saying, Gretchen. Like the love can set you free. Actually,
it can.
Yeah.
So, what's your least favorite word?
Stress.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's put on stress.
Stress.
Yeah, stress is
everything.
It's which it does, and sometimes we put stress on ourselves as well. Yeah, and I know I still do that sometimes. I've learned a lot not to, but sometimes I still do, and that's why I said it's my least favorite because you know what? Sometimes yes, there will be stress, but it's just all up to us how we're going to take it. Because we can take it and make us stronger or make us be like low and depressed. And then that's when we're going down, So it's up to us how we take it and how we use it, And I've learned now, like, yes, there will be a stress. The stressful situations are going to happen in life because it's just life, but it's just up to us how we take this stress. It's up to us. If we take it, okay, it's stressful. I know it's stressful, but I can deal with it. Then somehow we again become resilient. And then, it's easier for us to deal with this stress, if we don't let it affect us too much, So it's my least favorite because I don't like to think about the stress. And I'm less stressed now. And I do go through stresses, but I don't let it stress me that much to the point that then I don't know what to do, and then I sit down for a day or 2 or 3 or 4, sorry for myself and everything. No, I'll be having some stresses for an hour, 2 hours. I might feel a little bit, out of space. But after that, I'm like, come on, get your shit together. Let's go, and then you feel more powerful.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love this. I love hearing your story. Thank you for sharing it.
That was like so amazing. Like,
So awesome to have you on here, Alex. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for just sharing your story.
That was so amazing, and like I can't wait to listen all your everything because they are so like uplifting. I think gotta share everywhere as well. Everybody needs to listen to them because
thank you.
Stories, and every single story's got an impact on us. Every single story. We all go through different shit, and you know what? The only thing which we can learn from it, is beneficial for us. So I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much. This has been wonderful. Appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today. And
thank you for having me. I've been waiting for this. Thank you for having me so much.
You're so welcome. I'll send you the video because we don't release a video just so you can laugh at our
yes.
And then, do you want to listen to the episode before we release it? It's going to be released in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't mind.
No,
yes. Girl, I'm all good.
Is there anything that you want to mention that we didn't talk about? Anywhere our listeners can find you?
Yes, so I mean, like, I'm here, and if you're going through anything in life, or like happy with where you're currently at, it could be anything. It could be mentally, or you might go through the breakdown, or you might go through the breakout, whatever, or you just have your heart broken, and then it makes you eat more, and then you put weight, or you're not happy within yourself. I've got solutions for it. Yeah, just hit me on my Instagram. I'm trying to keep like a business one and a personal one, but now I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna combine them all together, because this is me, this is my life. I might put some things from the life and coaching all together, because I want people to know who I am. So not just only obviously training and value and what about, but also what's going out behind the doors as well. Because this is how people actually, understand you more and are attracted to you more. When they more about you, rather than you being always professional and business, whatever. If you show a lot of you, that's when you can actually truly help someone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, all. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'm G-Rex.
And I'm Dirty Skittles.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. We'd love to listen to your feedback.
We can't do this without you guys. It's okay to be not okay. Just make sure you're talking to someone.